Rangers Whiskey, not for the weak or faint-hearted. ThreeRangers.com.
And welcome everybody back to Before Nashville, where we introduce country stars of tomorrow to the country fans of today. I shared a question I want to ponder, and that question is, in orchestral music, it's called a violin. In country, it's called a fiddle. Now, this young lady that's joining me tonight, she is a multi-instrumentalist, and she can answer that question for us. So we're going to go ahead and bring her on. Hey, Emily, how are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm good.
I'm doing
Can you hear me okay?
great. I can hear you fine. Everything's
Awesome.
sounding good.
Sweet,
So,
thank you.
before we get into answering the elephant in the room question that I just presented to everybody, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where'd you grow up? How'd you get into country music? Things like that.
Yeah, so I grew up southeastern Wisconsin, in Waukesha County, small town named McWanago is where I was born and raised. I started at a really young age. I started playing violin and fiddle when I was 5 years old. Um, Basically, I was surrounded by music since day one, which was amazing. My mom played a little guitar, but she loved to sing. And then my both of my older sisters, I'm the youngest of three. My oldest sister played violin as well, and then my middle sister, she played piano and cello. So I was introduced at a really early age, and I wanted to get going as fast as possible.
Sounds like there was a lot of classical influence with your growing up.
Yeah, there was. I am classically trained, um, but I was also very, very fortunate to have private teachers, private lessons, and those teachers also knew that I really wanted to play bluegrass as well. So I was very fortunate to be learning both classical and like fiddle country bluegrass side by side
Mhm.
pretty much since day one. So I was very fortunate in that aspect.
So before we get any further into about you, let's answer that question. In
Yeah.
classical music, it's called a violin. In country and bluegrass and most other genres that it's used in, it's called a fiddle. What's the difference?
So I tell everybody it's the beer stains. Um, but
That's all.
honestly, it's just the genre you're playing. There's absolutely no difference in instruments. It's just if you're playing classical music, everybody calls it a violin. If you're playing fiddle music, bluegrass, Irish, any of that country, everybody just calls it a fiddle. So it's literally just what you're playing, the
I
style
thought
that you're
maybe it
playing.
had
So
something to do with whether or not people could spell violin as opposed to spelling fiddle.
that could be too.
So growing up, I mean, there was more than classical music being played in the house. What other kinds of music were you introduced to when you were younger?
Yeah, a lot of it was bluegrass music. Allison Krauss, the Cox family, Ricky Skaggs, Ralph Stanley, all of the bluegrass greats. But also, thank my dad for this one. Um, Also had a good education on classic rock. So like Steve Miller Band, Stevie Ray Vaughan, uh, just CCR, like all that good classic rock as well. So
Right.
um, and then we did listen to a lot of Irish music as well. So I love playing Irish fiddle music. It's so fun. And
Mhm.
it Irish and bluegrass music it brings me home because I
Okay.
grew up on it. So
Okay. So as you're getting into school and you're going through this training of the classical, um, did you have friends that kind of prodded you about that, kind of joked about you being a violin player at that time?
honestly, no. I was fortunate. Like I had a group of really good friends in like
Mhm.
orchestra and the music scene out when I was growing up, and we just um, a lot of them they love to play the film music too and classical.
Mhm.
So it was fun. I actually two of my very good friends in high school, we did actually like an improv trio. So we would just sit down and throw out a key, and it was great. I
Oh,
was very
yeah.
fortunate. So.
Sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
Oh yeah, it was. We had a lot of fun.
So as you're getting more into the bluegrass and the Irish and the country and things like that, who were some of the influences for those genres that you had?
The biggest one is Alison Krauss for sure. She's an amazing fiddle player, amazing vocalist. Oh my gosh! Like if a song of hers comes on the radio, you immediately know it's her.
Hmm.
So just her style of playing, I listen to a lot of it. Um, so it had a lot of effect on my playing. Um, and then like country music, just like Merle, Waylon, uh, George Jones, George Strait, pretty much like the big names. They had a huge effect on me too.
Right. A lot of the greats from yesteryear.
Yeah,
We don't have that same kind of music nowadays, unfortunately, when it comes
right.
to country. Um, Now we've conversed just through Instagram primarily, but do you remember the first song that you wrote?
Yeah, it was actually it was called Halls of My Mind. Um, that was I had a lot of songs in the works, but that's the one that I started and finished fairly quickly actually.
Hmm.
It was one after one of my first big heartbreaks. So just kind of reminiscing of how they're always by my side and then they're just gone. And they're still
Right.
still in the halls of my mind. So
How old were you when you wrote that song?
oh gosh, I think it was like 16 or 17. So it's been a while.
I wasn't asking that question. Just what do you think is so unique about the way that you perform and play and the songs that you do that make people just gravitate to you as an artist?
I mean, especially with like my fiddle playing, you don't there's a lot of amazing fiddle players, especially like female fiddle players, but you don't see a lot of them. So I
Hmm.
think when people see me getting ready for a gig, especially with like a full band show, and they see me getting that fiddle out, they get super excited and they want to stick around because they want to hear me. And they're like, I can't tell you how many times they're like, "Oh, do a fiddle solo," and I'm like, "Hold on, we got like four more songs." I'm like, just stick around, we'll be good. But it's just, I mean, and then even not on the fiddle songs, but just um, like my background stuff that I do behind
Right.
the vocals and everything. It's very. I've had people tell me that it's very tasteful and it's not like
Mhm.
overpowering or anything. So that's
Right.
pretty much what I strive for, and then I shine when I need to.
So, other than the fiddle, I know you play guitar. Are there any other instruments that you play?
So I do also play mandolin. And I did do percussion during high school and college as well. I haven't
Mhm.
done that in a really long time because I haven't needed to. Um, but I can play an upright bass when needed. I did actually play upright bass in a bluegrass band for a little while. Um, but that's yeah, pretty much anything with strings you put in my hand, I can figure it out.
And upright bass is just like a fiddle on steroids, right?
For the most part, yeah. The tuning's a little bit different, but all those concepts are the same. So.
And now this is a question that I've always wondered because of seeing upright bass and then cello and things like that. Is there a difference between those, kind of like with the violin and the fiddle? It's just the way you play it, or is there another difference in there?
I mean, like there is differences obviously between like a violin and viola and cello and upright bass, but it's basically the same.
Hmm.
Just in how you're what genre you're playing at that time.
Right.
So I've never
And
seen a
you
viola play country music, but that'd be pretty awesome too.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know that I've ever seen a viola. I probably have, but,
Yeah,
I could tell you what a fiddle and an upright bass look like, and
yeah.
they favor a violin and a cello, but a viola. kind of like the in between, isn't it?
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
basically all made the same way. It's just a little bit bigger than a violin, but it's not
yep.
as big as or a little bit bigger. Since it's a country kind of show, it's a little bit bigger than the fiddle, but not as big as the upright bass.
Right, yeah, it still looks like a fiddle, but it looks like a massive one.
Hmm.
You still throw it on your shoulder, and then yeah, the next would be the cello. That's what you're
And the
playing
tone on
sitting
those
down.
are different, of course, than the violin and they're the fiddle as well. It's a little bit deeper tone, right?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
So there's still four strings. You just take off the highest string on like what a violin has, and then you just add on a lower string. So
Okay.
it's got that deep, warm sound, and I love it. If I could go
Hmm.
back, I'd play viola, but
Well, why can you not like add that in? I mean, you
I
could do some
could.
pretty haunting stuff with that.
Yeah, or I could just buy a five-string violin and call it a day. So
Right. There you go. There you go. I didn't know they made those, so I'm
they
learning
do.
something from all this.
Yeah, they make six-string violins too. I've seen those, and man, those things are awesome.
I think I've seen some of those, and they're mostly like electric, and they're in a wild.
Yeah.
The ones I've seen, they're like in a wild V shape, and I know there's a couple of like there's a rock band that I've seen a guy play them, and I think I want to say like oh gosh, I'm trying to. They do like a Christmas show, Trans Siberian
Oh
Orchestra.
yeah, trans. Yeah,
I think they use that a lot too, and then
yeah. You
I've
can get
seen some
some
other players that use them.
right. Yeah, you can get some crazy sounds out of those things, especially if they're
Wow,
like the electric violins and hooked up through pedals and stuff. Like
right?
it's a whole
So
nother
you
world.
play guitar and you play guitar in your shows, and then you also play in a band and some other stuff. Which I mean, which is more? And this probably sounds like a dumb question, but I'm going to ask: which is more enjoyable for you to play, the guitar or the fiddle?
Honestly, I love playing both of them. I mean, I'll always gravitate towards the fiddle just because
Mhm,
I've been playing it for so long. And I'll always be a fiddle player first. But I mean, guitar is fun too. Like
mhm.
I just, I mean, if you put me in a room, I would choose fiddle. But
Right. It's kind of like asking which is your favorite child, I guess. One of those things.
yeah,
So, so you do some songwriting as well. And as a songwriter, what song do you think, damn, why did I not write that song?
oh, like a song from a different artist,
Yeah, something that
or
somebody, like a massive song, and you're just going, man, why couldn't I have written that?
yeah. Oh, I mean, there's so many. One of one of the ones that's coming to mind right now. It's not a huge song. It's by Muscadine Bloodline,
Hmm.
um, and it's Porch Swing Angel. Just the writing in that, the lyrics and the melody. It's just the first time I heard it, I fell in love with it, and I was like, that's that's what I want to write. Like I wish I could
Right.
write something similar to that.
That's a good song. I mean, that's one that people may not know if they're watching, but I'm sure after this they'll go out and hear it if they haven't heard of it before.
Yeah,
Um,
do it. You won't
yeah.
be disappointed.
When you're in your downtime, okay, you're not practicing, or you're not rehearsing, or you're not playing. Um, what if I were to open up your phone to your whatever stream service you use, Spotify, iTunes, whatever, what are going to
Yeah.
be the top 10 songs that I see?
Oh gosh. Um, Probably. Ooh, what have I been listening to lately? Bunch of Nothing by Eric Church. That's probably going to be on there. Uh, 23 by Chase Beckham. That's another artist, Texas country, it's phenomenal. Let's see. Oh, The Night by Morgan Wade. That would probably be on there. Unwanted Man by Aaron Watson. Those are like the top ones that I can think of right now.
Okay. So it sounds like a lot of and this is kind of the way that I think a lot of people are gravitating to, because you mentioned, like the Texas, Aaron
Yeah.
Watson, and Chase Beckham, and there's others out there. And Texas is a long way from Wisconsin.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What is it about that particular, I call them subgenres of country music, and people
Mhm.
that love Texas music and Texas artists will probably put a bounty on my head for saying that. But I feel like they're all, you've got country, with a
Right.
big C, and then you've got all these like pop, country, country rock, there's country rap, there's what they, traditional feel country, and then the Texas
Right.
country, I kind of lump into that. And I know a lot of Texas artists, and I know that they're going to be very upset with me for saying that, because they're going, "We're our own thing." And
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
"All right."
Texas is their own.
Yeah, yeah, they're very protective of that. So
Yeah.
all those other Texas artists that may be watching, I apologize, but I'm just trying to find out something. But what is it that pulled you to that particular subgenre?
I think for me, honestly, it sounds like country. Like you turn it on the radio, you know it's country. A
Hmm.
lot of the new stuff that's coming out, um, like I don't want to bash anybody, but for me it's not my cup of tea.
Right,
I don't turn on the radio and I'm like, what am I on, a pop station? Like this, I thought this was country. Um, so and also just when I'm listening to new music, I listen to the lyrics. If
right.
it's about trucks and beer and drinking and bonfires, I'm like, it's okay. But for Texas country, like it's real. They're
Right.
they're writing about your life experiences, about how you're feeling, what happened. Like it's it hits you. Like for
Mhm.
me, it hits me like right in my soul, and I'm just like I just love it. It's not your
Right.
typical cliche, what everybody thinks country, redneck, hick, whatever.
Right.
It's real.
Well, and country music, the way it started out, it was always telling a story, you
Yes,
know,
yes, yep. The
and
storytelling,
right, the 3 chords and the truth, and that's kind of what the
absolutely.
Texas artists go back to. One of my absolute favorites, and I know he's kind of making a name for himself now, Cody Johnson. I mean, Cody's just
Oh
amazing.
yeah,
And he's not let the bureaucratic side of country get a hold of him. He's still very true to himself, which I love that as
right.
well. Um, now I usually wait and ask this question a little bit later in the show, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it now, um, because I'm just curious. Now, you again, your primary thing is you're part of a band and a trio and a duo, and the band that you're in, the lead singer for that I know pretty well, and but if you were to go like solo, because you do some of your own solo shows too.
Yeah.
Um, say you are a signed artist and you're doing a massive Kenny Chesney size stadium tour, and you get to ask 2 artists to go on tour with you. Doesn't matter what their status is at this moment.
Hmm.
Who would you ask to go on tour with you?
Uh, want Morgan Wade for sure. She's just a powerhouse. Everything I've heard from her is amazing.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and she's making quite a name for herself right now too. But and the other one is Nikki Lane.
Okay.
Um, she's also the country scene. I guess I would consider her more the Texas country, but yeah, she's got
Right.
some awesome stuff too. Um, so those would be definitely the two I would try to get on board with me.
Okay. Well, I'll have to remember Nikki because I've heard. I think I've heard of her somewhere, but I've
Yeah,
never really listened to her stuff. You know,
I
real.
think one of my
Real.
favorite songs from her right now is Highway Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's the first one I heard from her, and I was like, wait, who is this chick? Like, I need more.
I got to find out what's going on. Now, do you write a lot?
I try to. Life sometimes gets in the way. Um, I I have a bad habit of starting songs, getting ideas, and then sometimes I just don't know really where to go with it, or I don't yeah, I just don't know where to go with it basically. So then I could
Right.
just get stuck and I move on and then I kind of forget about it. So I've got a whole Google Drive of ideas that I've started and like half finished songs. I'm like, I really need to go back and just sit down and finish these.
Have you co-written with other people?
um, I I have on a few songs. They haven't been recorded or anything. One of them is from with
Mhm.
the leader of the full band I'm in as well. Um, but basically, I did write with another friend. She helped me finish one of my other songs that I'll hopefully be getting at least recorded and will be playing out pretty soon.
Okay.
So there's been a few people.
All right. Well, when you're out playing and I know and I'm not trying to I'm not taking any thunder away from anybody I don't think, but I am going to mention Bree Morgan. That's who you play
Yeah.
with a lot. And when um when you're out, I mean you guys play like all kinds of stuff. I mean y'all are everywhere. You've been down to Texas and you played at
Yeah.
the Houston rodeo or the rodeo Houston, like the
No, we haven't
some
played
of the
there.
bar, not rodeo Houston, but it was some of the bars in around. Where was that at? Somewhere in Texas.
We played down in the stockyards. We played at
The
Stockyard
Stockyards.
Armadillo. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we're
the
going
Stock.
down again in July, and I'm super excited. We'll be at Rhinestone Saloon and Filthy McNasty's.
Okay,
So
all right. So with the different places that you play, I mean, you guys play basically from wineries to dive bars to just about anywhere.
hmm
Um, what is the one place that you enjoy playing the most out of the different types of places you played, be it a winery or, you know, not necessarily a dive bar, but like a bar or a dive bar or something like that, you know?
yeah, sometimes those dive bars are probably the funnest shows. Um, they're just the small town vibes that you get. And people are just out there having a blast and talking to you and just showing their like 100% support. Like some of those are pretty fantastic.
Right.
And then I mean festivals are a blast as well because you get so many
Yeah.
people coming through. Um, and I mean that's you get a ton of exposure. I hate using that word, but like I didn't didn't really know what other word. You get a lot of people going through and
A lot
um,
of people see it.
yeah, yeah.
That's all right. If you saw the comment I put on Bree's Instagram the other day, you get a kick out of that too. She and I just have that kind of relationship.
Yeah,
She
I'll
was
have to
talking
go
about
look at it.
playing the Brat Fest. Look one of those up.
Oh yeah.
Might have been a private message, but I don't think it was. Well, yeah, I believe it was because I didn't want everybody to read it and get the wrong idea. Um, so now when you're preparing for a show, and this is always fun to ask the the females that come on, the ladies that come on. What takes you the longest to get ready?
um, honestly, my makeup. I don't wear a lot of it, but man, I'm just not that great at it. I'm still learning how to. I didn't really grow up around it, so I've gotten a lot better. If you look at some of my past pictures, you're like, what the heck was she doing? So yeah, honestly, my makeup. Sometimes it's my clothes, just figuring out what the heck I want to wear, but it's 95% of the time it's my makeup.
All right. Here, this is a fun question. I've had some great responses to this. What is your most embarrassing stage moment?
um,
And we're a PG rated show, so I mean, you
yeah,
can.
it was a wardrobe malfunction. Um, it was at a Halloween gig, a couple years ago now. Um, and it was with Bree's band, and me and her, we were dressed up wearing corsets and all that good stuff, and um, oh wait, was she? I don't remember. It was a Halloween. Oh, I don't remember what she was wearing. Anyway, I was wearing a corset that I got off of Amazon, and it had a zipper up the side. And second set rolled around, and it busted wide open on the side.
Oh no.
Thankfully, I had a sweatshirt on stage. So a quick put that on, and I'm like, Bree, I gotta run to the bathroom, and I changed back into my street clothes. I was like, I got nothing. Nothing fell out, but I was like, there's definitely a situation I did not want to be in.
Right, right. It very well could have went that way.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Hey, I got through it. That's all that matters. So,
That's all that matters. That is all that. Of course, thank goodness it was October because putting on a sweatshirt, it didn't look like
yeah.
out of place or anything.
I
So
mean, it
that
was still hot in that bar, and I was sweating my butt off. But
right. If a young lady or a young gentleman walked up to you and asked you, "What advice do you have if I want to get into the music industry?" What would you tell them?
just go for it. Honestly, like if you feel like you're not ready, you're never gonna be ready. So just take that plunge. Just do it. You're gonna fail, and you're gonna have some awesome experiences too. But it's just, I mean, it took me a long time to pull the plug and dive into doing solo stuff.
Right.
Because one, I felt I wasn't ready, and I was like, well, I got the opportunity to do one, and I just did it. Um, and that was last summer, and this summer it's been great. I've been having a lot of solo acoustic shows too. Um,
Good
Hopefully, I'll
deal.
have more next year. But yeah, just go for it. Honestly, don't let anybody tell you you're never gonna do anything. You're never gonna become anything. Because if you follow that, you won't become anything. You just don't listen to anybody but yourself. As far as that goes,
Right.
make as many friends in the music industry as possible. Networking is amazing. You meet some incredible people that you never thought you would have ever met. You can build a amazing support system. Um, I've I've been super fortunate to have friends in the music industry that have been like, "Yeah, go for it, let's go! Like you're doing awesome." So
So, have you, with that being said, have you personally, I mean, if you went back and looked at your musical career, have there been any, um, I guess, any regrets, something that maybe you had an opportunity to do that you didn't take, and you thought later, man, I should have done that?
I had there's probably one regret, but honestly, it probably worked out for the better. Um, I had a scholarship on a college audition when I
Mhm.
was looking at colleges and figuring out what the heck I wanted to do with my life, right? I'm still doing
Right.
that. Um, uh, but I got a scholarship on an audition for a college and for a performance major. Um, and I declined it to go to somewhere that was closer and honestly a little bit cheaper in tuition.
Mhm.
And looking back, I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't do it. Um, but at the same time, it would have been more for like classically training and everything. And
Right.
I I did go for 2 years at the other college, UW Waukesha for performance. And after that 2 years was up, I was like, you know what? I really don't need a music degree to be doing what I want to do. I didn't want to
Right.
teach. I didn't want to teach music. I didn't want to be in a big symphony. I wanted to be up there on the with the country bands and just rocking it out for the festivals. And you don't need a music degree as long as you know what you're doing and
Right.
you're decent.
And you
You'll
have
be
good
fine.
folks to cover up your mistakes, right?
Yeah, 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 for sure.
I'm sure you have to do that on occasion. Sorry, Bree.
Oh yeah, she'll look at me and I'm like, I don't, my fingers aren't working today. I don't know.
Uh, um, Now, when you're out and about, playing, I've seen Bree solo live. Haven't got to see her with the whole band because I haven't made my way up to Wisconsin to do that yet. She was actually down in my neck of the woods last August, and
Oh yeah.
when when you're out and you guys are doing cover tunes, what's your favorite cover tune to do?
Ooh, like with the full band or like just me and her? Doesn't
The
matter.
full
Okay.
band, just the 2 of you, just whichever one is the one that, rocks your world the most, regardless.
Yeah. Um, I think I'd have to say "Call 'Em Baton Rouge" by Garth Brooks. That
Mhm.
one's just it's a feel good song. Everybody knows it.
Right.
They know that fiddle part. I start we don't sometimes we don't even introduce it. I just start playing and they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's Garth Brooks." I'm like, "Yeah." It's so much fun to play.
Right.
Um
And
and yeah.
that's kind of that's not the typical cover song a lot of bands do because a lot of bands don't have um, I'll just call it a luxury of having a fiddle player. I mean, they're You know, it's
Yeah,
like there's not a lot of them around in small areas, you get down to
right.
Nashville, it seems like there's quite a few, but,
Mhm.
outside of that, there's not. So you don't hear that song out a lot.
Yeah, or if you do, it's either like the guitar playing that lead part or they
Right,
just don't do it. But yeah, it's I love it. It's so much fun.
right, and that takes to me, that takes away from the song itself because it's made to be I mean, it was written to have that fiddle part in there. I mean, it's
Right.
apparent it fits in so well.
Mhm.
Um, Now, let's see. If If you could sit down and have dinner with an artist that has passed, it's no longer with us, who would that artist be and what would you talk about?
Ooh, honestly, Ralph Stanley. Just he lived one heck of a life. Just I would love to talk to him and pick his brain about the bluegrass industry and
Mhm.
places he's gone, people he's met. Like just hear his stories of
Right.
just his life because he was such an icon. Like I remember years ago, I must have been maybe 7 or 8 years old. We used to go to Bluegrass Festival in East Troy, and he played there one year, and it was just, I mean, I was that young and I still remember it. Like it was amazing.
Wow.
So yeah, I would love to have dinner with him and sit down and just talk about his life and hear his stories.
Right. It obviously made quite the impression.
Oh yeah.
Now, I have to confess because you sent me your song, um, and the Halls of My Mind, and I could not get it to upload. It wasn't anything on your part; it was my equipment.
Oh,
It would
okay.
not. So I don't know it. Do you have your guitar nearby?
I don't. It's actually out in my car,
Oh, oh,
which is
okay.
probably the worst place for it right now.
The life of a musician, right there,
Yeah.
folks.
Pretty
I
much.
was I tried to get it to upload, and I couldn't get it to do it, and I tried a couple other songs, and for some reason, it just wasn't working with my system
Okay.
tonight, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. Because I really wanted to share that with people because I want people to be able to hear it and to, find out more about you.
Right.
Um, so, I mean, um, that's the whole purpose of doing the show.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think it's uploaded on my. Oh, sorry. I just launched my website today too. So I'm
oh,
super excited about that. But I'll get Halls of My Mind uploaded to my website and my Facebook page too, so people can go on there and hear it.
I was trying to see if, hang on a second. Let me, I was trying to see if I could. Okay, that's not what I was looking for. That was your website actually, and I think I just closed it out, and I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to keep no,
Okay.
I've because I wanted to talk about the shows a little bit as well, but I was
Right.
trying to see if I could, you know, possibly bring the song up and just play it off my other computer. Let me see here if I can do that. Maybe it'll let me. I have to give me a second here. I
Yeah,
have to
for
go
sure.
through I have to jump through some hoops in order to do that because let's see, let's go there. And find your okay. Now I've got it here, so we're gonna see if it'll play. I may have to screen
Okay.
share in order for it to do that.
Hey everyone, here's an original of mine.
There it
It's
goes.
called Halls of My Mind.
All right.
All right. So I'm gonna pause that real quick.
Okay.
Because this is Emily and she's doing Halls My Mind. Now I have to ask because I know somebody that has the same last name. There's just one letter difference. How do you pronounce your last name?
Knutson.
Knutson. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Theirs has a D instead of a T.
Okay. Yeah,
So
there's so many different ways to spell it,
yeah.
and
So I
people
just wanted
pronounce
to
it
make sure
differently.
that we were right.
Yeah.
But this is Emily Knutson, and she's doing her song "Halls My Mind." We'll take a quick 30-second break because I have to give a shout out to all the sponsors as usual. You know they're paying the money, so give them a quick shout out, and then we'll come back and we'll play that real fast. All right.
All right. Yep.
b4Nashville is proudly sponsored by Go-Go Tuners, the go-to tuner for professional and amateur musicians. Get your Go-Go Tuner at gogotuners.com. By Heart to Heart Coffee, the coffee that gives back. Find out more at heart2heartcoffee.com. By Sibby's Apparel, worn by heroes, made with respect. Order yours at sibby'sapparel.com and by Three Rangers Whiskey, not for the weak or faint-hearted. ThreeRangers.com.
Never knew that nights I would be so lonely. Guess I got used to being there. Looking to my right, it breaks my heart. I swear your ghost is smiling back at me. told you I was leaving, you only stared because you knew. Packed up, you just stood there, then headed out to find where I belong. No matter where this Jeep takes me, how fast that one life passes by. When I look into that rearview mirror, memory haunts the halls of my mind and the past I left behind. I was down Louisiana when I heard someone say, you don't know what you got till it's gone. No matter where this Jeep takes me, how fast that one line passes by. When I look into that rearview mirror, memory haunts the halls of my mind and the past I left behind. Never knew that life could be so lonely.
That is Emily Knutson with golly, Halls in My Mind. I had to think about there for a minute. I'm sorry. That was actually a video that she had sent me, and I should have just brought the video up and played it. But let's get Emily back on here again and get some of this other stuff out of the way. There we go. So we already talked about the song a little bit, about the writing of it and how it was a broken heart that led you to do that, and you were 16 when you did that. Have you performed that song out much?
No, I have not. I've actually kind of been terrified to perform my originals.
Oh, why? I mean,
Yeah, I think it's just because they're so personal to me, and I
okay.
don't know.
Well, I will give you that, because some people just, it's like the personal songs tend to kind of, they do tend to scare people.
Yeah.
Uh, and so, that's not the intent of what folks want to do at all. Um, so uh, here's kind of an odd question that I'd like to ask, because I always want to find out a little scoop on people I talk to. Um, how would you describe your personality? Are you a grounded person? Do you have like a Mariah Carey or a Kanye West personality? I still haven't figured out. I've got to come up with somebody for the grounded one so it sounds better.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely more grounded. I just I'm not a diva in any aspect. Like, super laid back, just kind of take it as it comes.
Hmm.
I mean, if you put if you put me and Bree next to each other, you're like, oh,
Yeah, y'all are night
she
and
is
day.
such. No, we are two totally different people. I don't know how we've stayed friends for this
Right.
long, but no, she's definitely extroverted, and I'm like completely introverted. Public speaking scares the crap out of me. So it's been a learning experience with my solo shows, because I actually kind of have to talk sometimes.
Right.
um, so yeah, but I mean, you put a mic in front of me, tell me to sing or play fiddle or guitar, I'm on fine, totally fine. But tell me to speak in front of even 10 people, I'm like, no. So yeah, I'm
It just kind of
definitely,
locks up right there, right?
yep, my brain stops working. I'm like, I don't know what to say. And then I hear myself talking. I'm like, God, I hope nothing coming out is stupid. Like, so,
Oh my goodness. So, what song is stuck in your head right now?
oh gosh,
Not necessarily right now.
I was driving home from work today. It's been in my head ever since. Wrong Side of Memphis by Trisha Yearwood. It was playing
Uh-huh.
on the radio as I was driving home, and I'm like, oh, I haven't heard that song in so long, and now it's playing nonstop in my head. I'm like, I should probably learn that one.
That's always fun though. I mean, those are always great. Um, Here's another one of those odd questions. These are just kind of questions that I throw out there to basically throw you off. So you go into a public bathroom and there's 3 stalls. What stall do you go to?
uh, typically the like middle one, um, or the furthest one from the door. I don't know why. I just don't like being by the door. Maybe because like when you're in the bathroom and you're in a very vulnerable state, like gives you a little time to react. I
Yeah,
guess I don't know.
right. A little time to get your stuff together there.
Yeah.
Um, so he- this is one I hope never happens, but I do like to ask it. Um, when somebody's put on death row, they're given a last meal, but you get a last song. Not that you're on death row.
I
Um,
hope not.
yeah, I'm not going to ask who or why you got there. How about that?
All right.
But if you had a last song, what would that last song be? Kind of a morbid question. Maybe I need to drop that one. I haven't thought about
No,
it.
I love it. I mean, it can tell a lot about a person too. I would probably ask for "Go Rest High on That Mountain" by Vince Gill.
Hmm.
Just gorgeous song. Every time I hear it, I'm in tears. Like just it's amazing. I love it.
Right.
I mean, Vince Gill in himself is amazing.
Yeah. Great
But
guy,
that
man.
song, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying he's a great guy. I mean, he
Oh yeah.
just so much talent there.
So yeah, it
And
would probably be "Go Rest High on That Mountain."
yeah, I heard golly, where did I hear that at? Um, he joined he's playing with the Eagles. I don't want to
Yeah,
say
I
he's
saw that.
joining the Eagles, but he's playing with the Eagles. And I heard
hmm
them doing one of the songs. It was Glenn Fry's son and him were like doing a duet on a song that was written by the Eagles, and I don't remember what it was, but it sounded so good.
Yeah,
Not
it's
that his
like
other stuff doesn't, but
right, but no, it's like any song that Vince Gill touches is just that much better. Like
oh yeah, absolutely,
he's kind of got
absolutely.
like that like the Midas touch. Like everything he touches just
Hmm.
gold.
Right. I say that about Luke Combs all the time. Luke Combs is
Oh,
just,
he's got some awesome stuff. Yeah.
yeah. He just released a new one that I'm sure is going to blow up, and just had a new baby on Father's Day. I mean, his life
Oh
is
man.
just right there.
Yeah.
Um, you get a call that they're doing a documentary about you, and they want to know who you want to play you. Who are you going to pick?
Oh gosh. Uh, probably Jennifer Lawrence. Just
Okay.
she's such she's just so cool. Like I've watched interviews with her, and she's just so down to earth, and just she's hilarious too.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, it'd probably be her.
That's actually a good one. Very, very good. Um, and you answered the second part of that, which is why. So, just
Oh,
because she's down to earth and all that. So I just realized I didn't ask that. So you haven't really recorded your originals yet, correct?
correct. Yeah,
I mean,
I
not studio recorded. I'll say that.
yeah no, not studio recorded. I've been thinking about it. I would like to at least get enough for like an EP or maybe even a full album before I do that. Um,
Right.
but I mean, it wouldn't hurt to at least get the two that I do have that I am really proud of, um, to get those recorded.
Hmm.
So the other one I have is called Junkyard. It's a little different than Halls of My Mind, but
So what's that one about? Go ahead and just fill us in.
um,
What's that called?
again, that was written after a breakup, and there was quite a bit of anger. Basically, uh, he was a mechanic, he scrapped a lot of vehicles, and basically he was like scrapping my heart. Um, so kind of goes along the lines of that, and then uh, kind of a warning to the other girls in the future.
Uh,
Like it's not your fault if he breaks up with you, kind of thing.
right.
It's just who he is.
Um,
So
let me toss my phone down on the floor. It's buzzing on the table.
oh
And when you said that at first, it kind of reminded me because again, going back to Brie, one of her songs, "Trash," is kind of it sounded like it was kind of in line with that a little bit.
yeah, a little, just a bit. Yeah, no, it's she pitched that song to the band, and I was like, oh gosh, okay. But yeah, that was a fun one to do.
Yeah, it's a fun song. It really is. So, you've got your website up and you're working on that. You just got it up, didn't you? Didn't you say just today
Yeah,
or
today. Yep, I finally got it public today. I felt like was like, well, all right, I got everything that I think I need on there, and I think it
Mhm.
looks good. So
Did you do that yourself? You have some help with it?
yeah, I did. I actually used Band Zoogle. It's kind of like it's in line with like Wix and everything.
Okay.
Which is it's super user friendly. Just gives you a template, and it's literally just plugging stuff in.
Mhm.
So it's nice. You don't have to have any experience in programming.
Yeah, that's good for people like me because I there's no way I could design something like that.
Same.
I do have it up, and I was looking just through it a little earlier because I went over to your Facebook page and it said, "Hey, the website's up." I'm going, "Oh, cool! I didn't know that. I'm gonna go check that out."
Yeah.
Um, but it's got pretty much everything people want. You've got video covers on there and your bio. If people want to know more about you, a gallery of your
hmm
pictures, how to book you, who to get in contact with. But the most important thing is your shows, and it lists your shows. You are like I'm not. Please don't take this the wrong way, but
hmm
and you may have just looking at this, but if you have a day job, you are a very freaking busy woman.
I do have a full-time job. Yeah, I there's like no downtime, especially this summer. I literally have gigs every single weekend until about September.
Yeah.
So yep, very, very busy. I'm taking one weekend off in August for my birthday, and I'm going camping. So that's that's it until September.
Right. And what made me realize that was you've got like it shows 4 pages, and so I go to the first page and it's like June, July. Okay, I'm gonna see where she's at further in the year, and it goes to the end of July, and I'm like, Dad gum, 4 pages, and
Yeah,
you're at the end of July. You are really you're
yeah, it's
and
kind
you've
of
got
crazy.
solo shows, and you've got shows with the band, and then you have the trio and the duo that you guys do because, like I said, you and Bree went down to Texas.
Yeah,
um, we shows some of the places you're going to be down in Texas, Filthy McNasty's, Rhinestone Saloon. Got
yep,
a couple of dates there. Um,
yeah.
it's
We got
like a
3 dates
Friday
down
and a
there.
Sunday.
So
Friday and a Sunday. That's kind of cool. You don't see a lot of people doing Sunday shows.
yeah,
Uh,
we did we did a few Sunday shows when we were at Stockyard Armadillo. Well, when we were down there too.
mhm.
Um, the first, I think yeah, this will be the third time we're going down.
Okay.
So yeah,
I'm
I
interested.
love it down there.
I'm interested in this when you get one in Rockford, Illinois. You're opening for Nico Moon.
Yep.
That guy, man, I saw him live here in near our hometown. He was doing the annual crawfish boil,
Okay.
um, and did a great job. When I first looked at it, I had to look twice because I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it just
It's like
Gorallapalooza?
yeah, I think so. It's the Greater
Okay,
Rockford area auto auction, I think.
okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because when I
Yeah.
first looked at it, I thought it said Gravy Palooza, and I'm like, what the heck?
Well, I
Did
mean,
they
you can get some awesome.
throw
I
it
love gravy.
yeah, did they
Throw it over
develop
some
gravy in
biscuits. We're
Rockford,
good.
Illinois? 'Cause right there you go. Biscuits and gravy. Hey, we are home. That's all I can say. That is
Right?
all I can say. But, I mean, you guys have, and you've got a lot of solo shows yourself, um, which
Yep.
is, I mean, you're doing Anchor Bar and Grill, Island Bar and Grill. You got one with Thor Davis.
Yeah, he's a very good friend of mine, awesome guitar player. So he kind of took a hiatus, and he owns a guitar shop. Um, so he's doing his thing, and he's like, I really want to get back to playing. And I'm like, hey, come play with me.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So
So uh, tell them what the website is. I mean the how to get to the website kind of
yeah, so
thing.
you can get there through my Facebook page, Emily Knutson. It's otherwise the actual website is emilyknutsonmusic.com. You can get it
Okay.
that way. So yeah.
So are you I don't want to put you on the spot, and I'm hoping Bree isn't listening because she's gonna go, why'd you put that in her head? Are
Well, I
are
don't even
you
know. I don't think I
uh,
even told her I was doing this.
uh, I mean, are you planning on like recording some music and then maybe kind of doing your own thing a little bit? Are you I mean, is that
I
something
mean,
you consider?
maybe down the road. But I'm pretty
Yeah,
happy with where I'm at right now.
right.
Um, I mean, it's been great working with Bree. I mean, we've been playing with each other for 5 years. We both
Wow.
started in a different band, and we both left that band. And then one day, she literally called me up, and she's like, "Hey, what are you doing this weekend?" I'm like, "Nothing. Why?" She goes, "Good. Learn these songs." She gave me a huge a list of 60 songs to learn in about 3 days, and I'm like,
Oh my
"You're
gosh.
lucky I love you." So then it was all downhill from there. So the
Right.
rest is
Hey,
history.
talk about the hard rock bottom of your heart right there. It just
Yeah.
took a dive quick.
It's like, oh boy, what am I getting myself into? So, but yeah, it's been a great ride. It's been awesome playing with her. She's got some awesome stuff coming out, and I'm super
Mhm.
pumped. I went and recorded with her down just south of Nashville, and the stuff
Mhm.
that's going to be released from that session is it's going to be awesome. So, and
Yeah, I'd seen
you'll hear
the
my fiddle work on those. So,
okay. Well, I had saw where the 2 of you were down there, and, I think she posted one studio picture where she had cans on, standing in front of a microphone, so I knew what she was
yeah,
doing. Um, so that's pretty cool. Did you guys get a chance to play anywhere while you were in Nashville, or was it just a recording
no,
session?
yeah, I was we brought the whole band down. Well, Bree did. Yeah, we all went down there, and it was one straight day of recording, and then we had all um, got there down. Sorry, I can't talk right now. Oh my goodness.
That's okay.
Um, my mind's going so fast, and my mouth
Uh,
isn't keeping up. No, we all went down the day before, recorded the next day, and then we all drove back up to Wisconsin the day after that. So it was a quick
good deal.
turnaround, but it was an awesome experience. The guys we were working with, oh my gosh, they so knowledgeable. They were pulling stuff out of me with my fiddle stuff that I never even thought I could play. And I was like, this is
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
So I had a blast down there. I would love to work with them again. So
I'm excited to hear some of Bree's new stuff and yours too. I mean, once you get in the studio and get that recorded, I look forward to
yeah,
hearing it as well. Um, and
for sure.
just kind of uh, we keep following Bree, and I started following you on Instagram, and then but we keep following Bree's career, and I know you're a part of that, so we kind of follow the both of you and
Yeah.
keep up with you. So we'll definitely keep doing that. Um, so we can kind of see where things are going. I'd love to get her down here. I've got a couple places I'm talking to where um, I might be able to get her a show or two down here in my area, which would be fantastic. But from what she and I had a discussion, I think it'll be next year before we can do that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
so
she's a busy lady.
yeah, she is.
So,
And hopefully I can get her scheduled and then get it set for next year and we can get her down here. That'd be great. I'd love to get the whole band down here. I mean, that would
oh
be,
yeah, it'd be blessed.
you know, but I
Hmm.
know for something like that, it's going to be more than one show. So
Right.
you you can't haul a band around for the money of one show. That just doesn't work that way. Especially, I don't know how
Yeah.
far it is from Wisconsin to here.
The Missouri.
It's yeah,
Well,
it's
I drove down to Kansas City, Missouri one time, and it was about 8-9 hours.
That's what I thought. It's a good 8-9
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
So
Picked up a car.
that's yeah. Uh,
Yeah, boyfriend called me up. He's like, "Hey, go pick this up. Here's the truck. Here's the trailer." And I'm like, "Oh boy, okay." Buckle
oh
up.
yay!
But
Wow.
so that was an
Well,
experience. But anyway,
I bet it was. I bet it was. Well, Emily, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. And like I said, we'll keep an eye on you and
yeah, I
keeping up
appreciate
with
it. Thank you.
the entire career and what's happening. And hopefully, you'll have some of your stuff up before long, studio recorded. And
Yeah.
I mean, this is what I've always said. I love your songs, and I love the acoustic versions of songs, because to me that's when you can tell an artist if they can pull off a song acoustically and it sound good. Once they
Right.
get in the studio, it's going to sound good too.
Right.
You know,
Right.
but if you can't do it acoustically, then you probably need to look at another career. It's kind of my
True.
thinking.
Yeah. Right. For
Uh,
sure.
and I have been known to let that slip out of my mouth a time or two, and has not fared well. But I've been called a lot of names over that. They're not nice.
Well, I mean,
Um,
I've seen people too. They record and they sound awesome, and then you see them live, and you're really disappointed.
yeah, yeah. Hey, I mean, technology is a great thing, especially in
It
a recording
is.
studio. It can
Oh
make me
yeah.
sound good, and I can't sing. Um, I forget what it was. I was singing. I think I was singing something last night, and my wife, who I love very much, turned to me and goes, "Don't give up your day job."
But I bet
That's
you can
why.
play the radio real well.
Right, right. I can. I mean, I talk on the radio, so I know radio.
Oh
I
yeah,
can,
yeah, for sure.
I can talk, but you put me in singing, it's a whole different story.
Well, we're just the
Apparently,
opposites
God,
then. It's fine.
right? God knew what He was doing
Right.
when He put me in radio. So, but Emily, again, thanks for coming on and keep
Yeah,
doing
thank
what
you
you're
for having
doing.
me. My dog's
I
looking at me
love
like, "Are you done yet?"
yeah, I had to shut the door. My co-producer, which is our corgi, was in here a while ago,
Oh.
and she's probably laying outside the door right now, waiting for me to get done, and then we'll
Yeah.
go upstairs and she'll crawl under the bed and go to sleep. Um, but no, we've like I said, just looking forward to the music and going to keep following the career and see how you're doing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know,
Thank you
so.
so much for reaching out and having me on here. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm always open to talk to new artists and have them on, and if you're kind of at the front end of the
Yeah.
career, from being kind of a sidekick on stage for a while,
Mhm.
so you get that in front and push Bree out of the way once in a while and say, okay, it's my turn to sing.
She's like, "Oh, thank God, she needs a break."
Yeah. I know Bree. I needed a beer, and I couldn't get anybody to bring me one, so I'm gonna go get one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, knowing Bree, she just walk off stage and go get one. I know how she is. So,
Yeah. I'll be like, "Oh, that's fine. Okay, bye."
yeah, right. And she take the mic with her. I mean, that's how
Oh
it
yeah.
works. she doesn't care. She's got no
No.
shame.
Nope.
So, but do want to remind everybody we'll be back on Monday night. I've got Michelle Wright coming on Monday night, and I'm excited about that. So we're going to talk to her, and then I've got another artist on next Thursday, and his name is Dalton DeRich, and he has a song called Finish Line that we're going to listen to. So you guys join me back on Monday and Thursday. And until then, Emily, you have a great night, and
You
we'll talk to you
too.
later. All right.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right. You guys, you're welcome. You guys take care. Have yourself a fantastic evening, and we'll see you back here on Monday.